Your question.
Yes.
So this whole dying process and all of this, it's it I have seen multiple workshops where people attend workshops. I want to understand for you, can you answer, if you can articulate this idea of where does the artistry come in? Because it so far seems, not so far, it just, the ability to convert this entire process into a workshop model, a scalable workshop model, is something that one would see from the outside as a craft based, process based practice. You are a contemporary artist who uses this craft to your advantage. So
Yes.
in that same vector, I want to ask you, what is your work about? Your work, like, can you have a little finer conversation with me about what do you want to say via your work?
So my work is also a lot about collaborations, and that's why I wanted to talk about Panipat, because it's textile and collaboration, and it's basically I was invited to work in a carpet factory called Raj Overseas, and among other artists, in the sense there were 11 of us, and we were working towards a show. But what I enjoyed really about that process was getting the opportunity to work with a variety of techniques that I use for carpet making, and from scratch, like the process of how how we took the wool and turned it into
A carpet.
yeah, exactly, exactly. And there are various techniques of making carpets, not one.
Sure.
And so I created this artwork. And we were talking about the historical research that goes behind the work, which we don't really see, or sometimes we just get a glimpse of it in the artwork. And that's why I wanted to talk about this work, Panipat, which is a really large work. It's about 16 feet by 25 feet, like,
That's huge.
and it's, yes, and that's just like the basic size of it. And then there are other elements to it that jut out. It's a sculptural installation made out of carpet, and so I got this opportunity to work with about 40 to 45 people in the factory who helped me in the manufacturing of this artwork.
It's amazing.
And
The general population
yeah,
has no clue that artists like you are working on this scale.
yes, yes, that's
Awesome.
why I wanted to talk about this. And it's not just me, it's this collaboration that made it possible. I could have never done it at this scale if I didn't have the help of all these 45 people working with me,
Yeah,
on this project.
it's amazing.
And so, but then again, we were talking about the subject and how subject of my art, what the subject is. And so for this particular artwork, I went about researching the history of Panipat. We've all heard about the various battles of Panipat in
Yeah,
our history lessons
very
when we
dark.
study in school.
Yeah, history.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, history. Yeah, that those lessons that we did at some point at school.
there's blood
And
involved
the
there.
moment, yes, there was blood involved, and that's what made us remember these the first battle of Panipat, the
Panipat.
second battle of Panipat, etc., etc.
Yeah.
But actually, and Panipat is about 2.5 hours away from Delhi. So you can drive. When you actually hit the city, you don't see any trace. You don't see a single trace of anything historical associated with the city, because it's just an industrial town,
Yeah.
dirty in the middle of, and it's always been a town that has been recorded in history as a transit point. It's never a destination. It's a transit point.
Oh,
You cross Panipat to get into Delhi.
I
You
didn't.
know,
That's
and
amazing. I never
so
saw it that way. Yeah.
yeah, it's the route from the north for invaders to enter Delhi.
Okay.
Because that was the main point of entry for people
How does this? How
coming
does
by
this come?
land.
How does this come into your work?
This comes into my work because what I did was I went about looking for the historical remnants of this. I mean, I went about looking for history in this dirty industrial town. Like where and what. Like if such great battles happened here, I'm sure there must have been encampments. There must have been some historical monuments, like Delhi has so many historical monuments.
Yeah.
What about Panipat? So I went about looking for traces of these places, if they exist or not.
Hmm.
And believe me, I found so much, and that's what I put into the artwork. So that's how it is related to my artwork. I put these monuments by, creating carpets about these
That's
monuments.
amazing.
You know,
Yeah.
so
That's.
that's how the historical research comes in.
I have a question. Whatever you can do on a canvas, you can do in textiles.
I don't think so.
No, like an artist would use paper and ink, or a pencil and paper, or oil canvas or watercolor on canvas, and can create very complex ideas on a canvas, which is. I'm not looking
Yeah.
at it as a piece of fabric. I'm saying it's a canvas. It's one medium. But what you're doing is, you're saying you don't think so. Go on.
Yeah, because the thing is that for my work, like I work with the very tactile quality of the material that I use. That is the USP of my work, I would say. When you look at it, you want to touch it, and that's not always the case with the canvas. That's the first
Yeah.
thing. That's the first difference I would point
But
out, right?
would you
Okay,
allow people to touch your material all the time? Like,
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, I did that with the 100 meters work. I did that. I actually invited people to come and touch the work.
that doesn't that's not considered as damaging the work. Because an artwork, you're not supposed to touch the artwork. It's very famous. Don't touch. Please don't touch the artwork. Here you're saying
Yeah,
touch the artwork.
touch the artwork. Yes, touch the artwork. Please do, uh, because the thing is that, I mean, I use silk 100 meters, right? So I use silk, and for me, the very idea behind using the silk is that when I see silk, I want to touch it. I immediately, feel it. So I wonder if that happens to you, if that happens to all the other viewers who come and look at the work. So I really wonder, and so I want to allow those who feel the urge to go and touch it. I would want to allow them to do that. You
Explain
know,
this a little more.
so
Why touch it? Tell me what you're going through.
it's a sensation that I want to feel. The moment I have the visual, like the moment I see the silk, it's a feeling. It's a very sort of uncontaminated feeling I have that I want to touch it.
I don't have
And I
that.
don't know how many.
I don't
No,
have.
you don't have this
I don't
feeling.
have that feeling. I'm sorry. Am I having less of an experience?
No, I mean, I don't know. You have to decide that for yourself. But I did realize, like when I had displayed this 100 meters work, not many people came and touched it. So I
Yeah.
was also wondering about this. I was really wondering, like, is it just me who wants to go and touch all the fabric that they see around, or is it other people too? I just wanted to let them have that opportunity if they felt the urge, let them have the freedom,
Yeah.
because the work allows that. It's not behind a piece of glass. Although I have a lot of work which is behind a piece of glass, because that's the way it comes together
Yeah.
as the artwork, because of the various layers, and I can't possibly leave it open for the viewers to come and touch that work, however much I would like that. But it's not possible. So I understand the limitations of that. But where it is possible, yes, please go ahead and touch it.
This I